Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in the first chapter, in the last class, we have completed with the summary of the first chapter, which is titled as the Arjuna Vishada Yogam, or we caption to it the identity crisis. Now, today we are going to enter into the second chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is titled as the Sankhya Yogam. That means the self discovery, the self knowledge is called Sankhya Yogam. Now, if we remember what happened in the first chapter, the Shoka, Moha, the Raga, Shoka, and Moha. These are the three things that makes a person miserable. The person who is suffering with these three things, symptoms of Raga, Moha, and Shoka, is called a samsari. So, the cause of the misery is where? That we have to find out first. Finding the problem, the cause of the problem, it is the half of the solution. Then later we can give the medicine. Generally, we think that the problems of my life, problems are the unhappiness, are the restlessness, tension, fear of my mind. They are all depending on the outer situations. This is the main correction we have to do. Shastra says, no, the problem is within you and the solution also within you. Now, Arjuna is not able to find out what is the reason for his sorrow, and he is in utter confusion. In that utter confusion state, Arjuna started making so many statements. They looks like very good statements and very dharmic and all that. But still, in this particular juncture, the Arjuna's purpose of coming here, before coming to the war, Arjuna was very much active, dynamic, and a Rajasic temper person. I want to fight. We will fight the war and win the kingdom. But after coming here, within a fraction of moments, he completely turned into the tamasic state. The tamasic state means whether it is a lazy, drowsy, or the depressed condition is called tamasic state. Now, so in this condition, in the first chapter, Arjuna argued with in so many statements, but Bhagavan didn't speak even a single word. The reason is when a person is in a intoxicated condition, we cannot give the wisdom to him. By giving which wisdom, by giving which medicine, the Arjuna's sorrow can be removed, Bhagavan knows that. So you want to give that highest spiritual knowledge, but not immediately, because still Arjuna is not prepared to receive that knowledge. So as like a doctor prepares the person before taking into the operation theater or before performing the operation, like that, Bhagavan wants to see the pulse of the Arjuna, whether he is ready to receive the knowledge or not. So he went into the very sorrowful depressed, dejected condition. So Bhagavan cannot speak immediately anything. It is just like that. For a drunkard person, we cannot say any good words and wisdom. We cannot give because he is not in a position to receive. Only when he comes out of that intoxication, only it is possible. So, like that, now Arjuna is in the tamasic condition, depressed condition, and sorrowful condition. Now, Arjuna, Bhagavan, how to start to speak with Arjuna? So that is the now a dilemma, stagnation between these two. Arjuna becomes silent. Bhagavan also silent only. So in between, after few seconds or minutes, what happened? That is going to be addressed, and the master of ceremony Sanjay is going to introduce. So the second chapter also Arjuna's condition is this, like that. First shloka Sanjaya addressing. Sanjaya uvacha tam tatha कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणं विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः. Now, before going to see the word to word meaning of these shlokas, this second chapter is called as the Sankhya Yoga, I said, which is consisting of 72 shlokas, one of the biggest chapters in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And this first chapter can be called as the Upakrama Samkshepaha. Upakrama Samkshepaha. In entering into the topic, but what topic we are going to elaborate later, that all entire from third chapter to the 17th chapter, third chapter to the 17th chapter is summarized and given in a gist form in this second chapter. So that's why it is called as the Upakrama Samkshepaha. Now, whatever Bhagavan is going to tell in this second chapter, that same teaching is elaborated further in detail from third chapter to the 17th chapter. Then the 18th chapter again is also a concluding portion, again summarizing like the topic which is going to start in the second chapter. So we can call the 18th chapter, which consisting of 78 shlokas. That is the biggest chapter in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that we can call as a Upasamhara Samkshepaha, the concluding summary of the same topic. Concluding. Now this is second chapter is beginning summary, a samkshipta. It is just like that. Before going to start the news in detail, first they will read the headlines. Yes, and again after detailedly all those headlines are described. At the end again they speak about the once again the headlines. So same way here, Upakrama Samkshepaha and Upasamhara Samkshepaha. Two big chapters in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the second and the 18th. Then the entire the second chapter, we can basically divide it into four headings, subheadings. One is Arjuna Sharanagati. Arjuna's Sharanagati. So Arjuna is going to surrender to the Lord and going to accept him as the teacher and ask him to instruct. This is the very important highlight of this. And then later, second subheading is this is going to be what Arjuna Sharanagati from Shloka 1 to 10. And then from 11 to 38, 11 to 38, Gnana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga. That is a very important uh, description of the truth. Then, after that, from 39 to 53, it is a Karma Yoga. So, Karma Yoga is a preparation for what? To enter into the Gnana Yoga. So, what is Gnana Yoga, Sankhya Yoga is described when? After the Arjuna becomes surrendered to the Lord, accepted the Lord as the teacher, as the well wisher, as the advisor, as the doctor. Then the last portion, fourth subheading is 54 to 72 is the description of the Sthita Pragnatvam and how to become a Sthita Pragna, the man of steady wisdom. So the Sthita Pragna Lakshanas qualities when Bhagavan is explaining that is going to be Sthita Pragna Lakshanani Sadhak Mumukshayoho Sadhanani. For us, as seekers, they are all indicators and the pointers. So, like this, the second chapter is divided into four subheadings, can be divided into. Then, before going to entering into the chapter, three more points we have to understand very clearly. What are they? Any person, whoever listening to this Bhagavad Gita is not a story between the Krishna and Arjuna and Mahabharata. This is a teaching for my sake. The Lord Shri Krishna Bhagavan is talking to me. So let us all keep ourselves in the position of the Arjuna, because one way or other we are all caught up in the samsara. Samsara means transmigrating relative world where the dukkha is predominant. And in this relative world, everything is uh, unpredictable, unchangeable, unsustainable. So, such a fleeting, this relative world, how it can give the happiness, peace, and security to a person? That is the question. Now, whoever listens to this Bhagavad Gita and to derive the total maximum benefit of this Bhagavad Gita teaching by listening, if they want to get that benefit, they must go through these three stages. What are they? One is samsara darshanam. We must see the reality of this relative world. We must see the reality of this relative world. In relative world, reality is not there. That we will see. So we discover non-reality in the relative world because it is unsteady, it is unsustainable, unpredictable. So this transmigrating this relative world is a temporary. It is asaram. There is nothing pith in it. So samsara darshanam means recognize dukkha doshanu darshanam. In Gita itself, Lord is going to tell in some other place, this anityam asukham lokam. This lokam is anityam asukham. And we must see here dukkhalayam this is. And so we must able to realize and recognize, that is called darshanam. Samsara darshana means samsara itself meaning is called transmigratory. Samsaram meaning itself is temporary. Samsaram means itself is a dukkha bhuyishtam. In that sukha dukkha mishritatvam is there, and then asamtruptikaratvam is there, and because of that there is a fear all the time. So there is a shoka, moha, bhaya, and all these kinds of are there. So samsara darshanam. Once if you see this temporariness of this world, anything, world means including my body, your body, everybody, everything in this world is a temporary. They all will appear and disappear. So, recognizing this, the law of impermanence in this world, the relative world, is called samsara darshanam. That means we must go through the dukkham and through the experiences of our own life, we learn and realize, recognize, oh, I should not hold on to it. I cannot depend on it. I cannot believe it. So, once if this stage crossover, now Arjuna is in that stage of seeing the dukkha. There is no happiness in the life by doing this war, by getting the kingdom after killing so many people. So, like this, samsara darshanam. I means going through the sufferings. Even though we are all going through the sufferings, but we never see there is any solution from this suffering. Generally, we search for the solutions on the palliative basis, palliative treatment, they say, no? That means a temporary. Somebody console us, a doctor gives some medicine, so some kind of solution will find for this temporary suffering. Then another suffering will come, another solution we have to search. Like this, you keep on find out any number of solutions, but the sufferings keep on coming, keep on coming. Then what to do? What is the way? Then instead of searching and seeking for the solutions outside, because through which world samsara you are suffering, if you find the solution in the same samsara suffering origin, how you can get the remedy? The simple logic. We have to find the solution beyond this samsara, beyond from this relative world. Then only you will get the permanent solution. Now, for that sake, the person should come to the second stage we have to go through. What is that? Discovering oneself as helpless. Regarding the relative world and trying to find the solutions for our suffering is a searching for a black cat in the dark room on Amavasya day night. It is like that. Or beating around the bush like that. So we are helpless actually. No science, no doctor, no relative, no possessions, relations can fulfill our want, cannot remove all our sufferings, cannot give the permanent happiness, permanent peace, and the permanent security. Once, if you know that we are helpless here, this helpless word is called karpanyam, dainya bhavam. It should come. This is the second stage. Once if you've gone through the second stage, then what to do? Where from I will get the help? Where I can find that solution? Then I need to search for it. So first a desire to know something higher and finding the solution from apart from this relative world. So that means we must accept our helplessness regarding this relative world. Why? I said already, it is unsteady, unsustainable, and unchangeable. we can't do anything. But we have to live and negotiate in this world. But I want peace and happiness and security. Then, for that sake, the help will come from where? And if you keep on pondering and pray to the Lord in this manner, oh Lord, I am helpless. That's why when we are helpless, we say, hands up. Oh Lord, okay, please protect me. I don't know anything. I don't know. I'm helpless. That helplessness is called the. Then we surrender to something the higher, the third stage. Very important, these three. So, seeing the samsara darshanam, dukkha darshanam, then knowing that the helplessness, and then I must seek the higher something, somebody who is crossed this ocean of samsara, freed from this sorrow, and I have to have the faith on the Ishvara, the Lord, because the power who is governing this entire Namarupa Prapancha, the world, the Lord only can help because He is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. So, in that way, also, if you think, you must come to the third stage, surrender, Sharanagati. Surrender to Lord, but by surrendering to the invisible Lord, you cannot communicate with the Lord. You cannot see the Lord directly, just like that, immediately visiting the doctor. But by praying to the Lord, you have to, you will find the solution, you will get the support of the Shastra. Who is, or you will see the support of the Guru. So we must need a guru who crossed this sorrow, samsara, the sorrow and suffering, by getting the medicine of the self knowledge. Where from he got the self knowledge medicine? From his guru. So have that faith. Sharanagati, we can translate or say means Shraddha. Surrender means Shraddha. You must have faith and belief and Shraddha on the words of the Lord. The Guru also, we need a Guru who can relieve us from this samsara, this transmigratory relative world. Then that Guru must teach the Shastra to me. Again, he also makes me to go around the bush and not giving the proper correct medicine. Then what is the use? So, for this samsara disease, the doctor is the guru and the medicine is the shastra. Medicine is the shastra. So, we must surrender here. We cannot argue and say that I know, I have studied a lot, I have lot of books in my house, I have done my PhD also, I know many languages. No, all these things you we have to keep it side, and we have to keep our intellectual arrogance, intellectual uh, arrogance, intellectual cholesterol, the headstrongness, the ego feeling, all that once if you keep side only and surrender to somebody as the guru, then only it is called Sharanagati. And for this, you need to prepare yourself a lot. So, all these preparations now, the 3 points, seeing the samsara darshanam and knowing, recognizing his own helplessness, and then surrendering to something, somebody, that guru who can guide me. And these three stages, Arjuna also uh, has to go through these three stages. Then only it is possible for Krishna to teach something. Now Arjuna is in the process of the first stage, he is undergone. Now he's become helpless and sitting just like that, but not ready to act, but not in a position ready to listen to the wisdom or the good words of the Lord. Then now Krishna has to create the situation, create waiting for a moment, uh, situation where Arjuna should get triggered again and come out of the tamo guna to the again little active rajoguna, and not from the rajoguna staying there to receive the gnanam. A person must need the sattva guna, a balanced state of mind to listen and receive. And that sattva guna means is equal to again shraddha, bhakti, surrender, egolessness, arrogance free. All this together comes are called as the sharanagati. Understood? And that only can help us to receive this knowledge as it is. Otherwise, we may study and complete. Many people will study in the university. Many people will do PhD about Bhagavad Gita. That can give only the academic knowledge, but not the self knowledge. So we can call this particular chapter self discovery. What is the self discovery? I am the problem, and so I should be the solution. Problem is me, and solution also me only. So everything is within me only. So keeping these important points in the mind, now we'll enter into the first shloka meaning, which we have already just read. Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya said like this. What Sanjaya saying? Madhusudana Uvacha. The Lord Sri Krishna, Madhusudana, is addressing and telling to the Arjuna. But Arjuna word didn't use in this word, but the adjectives of the Arjuna's condition. The person who is in these three conditions, three adjectives are used by the Sanjaya. Such a person called Arjuna, because we are talking about the Arjuna in the previous chapter, the last shloka. Arjuna sat on the chariot, uh, by dropping his arrow and the bow, and kept quiet. So Vishidantam, with sorrow, he sat like that. So then now that to that Arjuna, what kind of Arjuna? Krupayavishtam Arjuna, Ashrupurna Kulekshanam Arjuna, Tam Arjunam. What Arjunam? To that Arjunam, Krupayavishtam means who is overpowered by, possessed by Kripa. General meaning of Kripa means compassion. But here, Kripa means it is not really compassion, it is actually attachment in Arjuna's case. So, Krupaya Avishta means overpowered by this attachment to that Arjuna. And what else? Ashrupurna Kulekshanam Arjuna, whose eyes are filled with the tears. Okay, Ashru means teardrops. Purna means filled with. Akulam Ikshanam, whose eyes are filled with the water and covered, and eyes are blurred now, filled with the tears. That means Arjuna is crying, crying. Why is crying? Because he's in the Vishadantam, Vishidantam, Vishidantam, to that grieving, to that crying, and to that attached Arjuna. attached, attached to the relationships to that Arjuna. That means कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणं विषीदन्तम् अर्जुनं tam Arjunam Priti to that Arjuna, and Lord Madhusudana addressed and talked like this. Okay, so Arjuna when becomes silent, few seconds Bhagavan just uh, kept quiet, hmm? And then these words are told by Lord Shri Krishna. What Bhagavan Shri Krishna said, Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Everywhere in the whole Bhagavad Gita, when Sanjay addressing about the Krishna, everywhere he mentions Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Or this Bhagavanuvacha word is maybe added by these authors later, Acharyas. But because it is not the Yadava Krishna, Devaki Vasudeva Sutta Krishna, here the Bhagavan, the Parampurul, the Supreme Self, the Brahman itself is appear in the form and speaking. So Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, what Bhagavan says, now Krishna wants to break the ice. How to make this Arjuna first of all little dynamic. So Bhagavan, Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam Anaryajushtamasvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Now, if, as I told, for an intoxicated person, if you speak very softly, very gently, very soothingly, he won't get up, he won't listen. So, here Bhagavan using little harsh words by which he can trigger and little what is irritate otherwise Arjuna to get out of from that lethargic and tamasic state, from the depressed condition. Then Bhagavan Uvacha, Hey Arjuna, Kutaha idam kashmalam samupastitam. Hey Arjuna, Kutaha. Bhagavan using few words important. Where from idam kashmalam. This dirty way of thinking, this dejection, this depression. Kashmala means dirty, with mud, diluted, saturated, or adulterated. So, this dejection, this kind of depression, which is anarya justam, which is not praised by any wise people. Arya justam means praised by, accepted by the noble people, wise people. But Arya means noble, civilized, cultured, samskritika, samskritika purusha. So, but it is your behavior, no wise person will accept and say, good. So, anarya justam, arya justam, anarya justam. No one will accept or like this kind of your condition, particularly wise people, noble people. You are not noble. If you are noble only, you will be praised, accepted by the noble people, Aryas. Now here, one or two things we'll ponder. This Arya word is a very, very good word, but later on, due to political and the foreign invasion and all that, later specifically in this Tamil Nadu also, they separate these two words and talk a lot of nonsense about this Arya and Dravida. Anyhow, we are not going to into that controversy of things, but according to our scriptures, the Arya word is used in Ramayana, used in Bharata, used in so many scriptures. Arya. I will remind you here one Smriti Grantha shloka. Okay, which is Smriti Grantha, maybe Manusmriti or Yajnavalkya Smriti or some Smriti Grantha. What is the meaning of this Arya? We said just a noble, cultured, civilized person. But a clear definition given there. Kartavyam chacharan karma, akartavyam anacharan. तिष्ठति प्रकृत्याचारः सवार्या सवार्य प्रकीर्ति सवार्य प्रकीर्तितः. What it means? One who do what he is supposed to do. Kartavyam karma acharan. Whatever his duty according to Varna Ashrama Dharma in his life, who performs his own karma duty. Same time, he never do the uh, other karma. Akartavyam karma anacharan. He never go against to it. So he do what he is supposed to do. He never do what he is not supposed to do. So that means one way you can say who follows the dharma, because the dharma word is includes all these meanings. Dharma means duty, dharma means responsibility, dharma means uh, uh, activity, dharma means piousness, dharma means charity. Everything comes in that dharma. By holding on to which the person grow spiritually. To say simply, what is dharma? By following which a person grow spiritually, internally, not externally and materially. Materially growing may some get it, some may not get it, but spiritual growth is more important. The internal growth is important. So that is the dharma. Now here in the third line, third sentence, so he tishtati prakrutyacharaha. Naturally, he abides in his own duty, prakrutya, naturally, but he must have a strength to follow the dharma. For any person to follow the dharma, we need a strength, inner strength, self confidence, self esteem, commitment to the cause, and commitment to that value. That's why if the value is a valued by a valuable person only, the value is a value. Otherwise, there is no value for it. So know the value of the value. The value of the value can be known by a person only who is a Arya. So that's why Sava he only is called as the Arya Prakirtitaha. So very beautiful definition given for Arya word. Then so Anarya Jushtam. Okay. Other thing, if you are not worrying about this, noble people are don't accept that they never praise me. But it is aswargyam. Even if you are decided not to do this war and run away from this dharmic war, even which will not help you to go to heaven. Aswargyam. That means you iha paraloka, both the ways, here and thereafter. In two ways, you are getting ruined. You are getting a no bad status. So anarya justam, aswargyam. Still, I will tell you, Arjuna, Akirtikaram. You have a lot of kirti. You all had a lot of praise and uh, name and fame because of your own actions, because of your valor, because of your tapas. You got lot of name and fame. You know, all this name and fame will go into waste. And if you start decide that I'm not going to do the war, it leads to the akirtigaram. So this kind of way of mean and meek way of thinking, which is anaryajustam, aswargyam, akirtikaram, samupasitam kutaha swa vishame. At this juncture, in this particular time, where from this kind of thinking, decision, mind, behavior came to you? So here, these three words may little bit shake the Arjuna. Anaryajustam, Aswargyam, Akirtikaram. You know, you are a hero, Arjuna. And every small boy, child also knows about you. They all will cheer and clap when they listen to the Arjuna word. But now, once if you run away from this battlefield, even small children also talk about you very, um, what, in a very mean way. So you lose all your talent and figure and the name and fame. For example, a cricket player who is played so many games so well with the centuries and all that. But you know, in one particular game, if he don't perform well, then immediately all the fan will curse him, shouts at him, talk bad words, isn't it? So you want to maintain your heroism, or you want to sit like this, like a zero. Why? So Bhagavan asked like this, but there is no any reaction from the Arjuna. Bhagavan thought that let me see that whether he react, whether he gets up, whether he show his face to me and say something. Then when there is no reaction in from Arjuna's side, then Bhagavan tells the third shloka, which is little more stronger dose with क्लैब्यं मास्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वयुपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदयदौर्बल्यं त्यक्तोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप. First he scolds him with a strong word which can prick Arjuna, and Arjuna should react and should get up. What? Hey Partha, hey Pruduputra, O Arjuna, ma sma gama. That means don't yield to this klaibhyam, impotency. This is the very strongest word Bhagavan using here. It is abusing word. Telling to any male person, man, you say you are not a man, then how much you will get reacted. Even very poor person, even mad person, even uneducated person, anybody, you are not a man. If you say to the man, definitely he will get angry. He will react. So Bhagavan using that word, klaibhyam, this word. Klaibhyam means unmanliness, impotency. That means like a eunuch. Eunuch means that transgender, no person like. So the strong word used by the Lord, Klaibhyam. Maybe Bhagavan remembers that in the forest when you are in the exile, 1 year you are in the Virata Parva, Virat Raja. You hided yourself by different disguises, different veshams. That time you become a dance teacher, like, okay, and you become a teacher and taught the dance to the Uttara for 1 year by acting like as a this uh, eunuch, okay? Half man, half woman, like. So maybe that is the reason that you still behave like a woman. You forgot in your manliness. You forgot in your strength and valor. Ma smagama par ma smagama klaibhyam. Don't do not take to yield to this kind of impotency, unmanliness. Etat na upapadyate tvayi. This is not going to help you. Etad, this kind of behavior, the thinking pattern, does not uh, befit you. Upapadyate, not benefiting. It should not come to you. This kind of behavior, it's not your nature. It never suits to you. That is the meaning. Now, upapadyate tvayi. It is never expected or anticipated in you this kind of mentality, this unmanliness, klaibhyam. Therefore, tyaktva kshodram hridaya daurbalyam. So, having, please give up this, and what? This mean type of heartedness, hridaya daurbalyam, weak heartedness, meekness, and uh, dainya bhavam. Remove all this. Give it up. Shudram. Shudra means very mean. Even to see itself, it looks so bad. Arjuna behaving like this. Therefore, uttishta, get up. And then Lord used a positive, encouraging word. Hey, parantapa. Parantapa. First he scolded at him and reminded him, you are a parantapa. How you can behave like this? Like impotent, huh? Unmanliness behavior, Klaibhyam. You are Parantapa. Parantapa means who did a very strong tapas for attaining, getting the lot of weapons, Pashupatastram and etc. Not only that, you are the scorcher of the enemies. Even if you stand just simply by seeing you, the enemies will get terrified. Such a strong and the powerful person, you a Parantapa, a Arjuna. So Parantapa, like addressing the Arjuna, because Arjuna knows that these are all his qualities only. But where from this in between this Klaibhyam? And then Bhagavan said these words. Then some reaction started coming up in Arjuna, but still he is not fully waken up. Uttishta. Uttishta means first you get up, then we see what to do, whether to go back or to fight the war, and to fight with whom. But don't sit, don't cry in middle of this war field in between everybody, in front of everybody. How it looks bad. You see, then what a tragic, difficult situation for Krishna. I believed you. You are a strong person. I am also feeling great to be as a charioteer to Arjuna, but you are. spoiling my name also and your name also. What is this? Then Arjuna started speaking again. Arjuna Uvacha Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhe Dronam cha Madhusudana Yushubhi Pritiyotsyami Pujarha Varisudana. Now he just started thinking, he's coming to that second stage. What is that? I am helpless. He didn't say, he didn't surrender still. That's why Bhagavan waiting Arjuna to cross over and go through those two stages also. First, he must recognize that then I am in confusion, I am in helpless condition. Then he has to ask what to do, tell me. So the two stages now Arjuna is going through. So first he started speaking at least, but what he speaks, you see, again what where he left, that only he is taking thread from that. Katham Arjuna Uvacha. Hey Madhusudana, this Madhusudana word already came before also. I defined it, but again here, you are the killer of the demon Madhu. Okay, one general meaning. Had other meaning, who is going to destroy everybody's ego. Madhu means ego, because he is going to give the Atma Gnanam. Only by through the Atma Gnanam only the ego can be destroyed, individuality. So anyhow here, Puranic that word it, Madhusudana, Katham aham pritiyotsyami. How can I revolt and fight against to my grandfather Bhishma and my Guru Drona, who are worthy of worship, Pujarha, Bhishma, Ch Dronam, Sankhye, Ishubhihi, with the arrows. How can I retaliate? That means even if they leave the arrows, it's impossible for me to again retaliate and shoot the arrow on my grandfather Bhishma or my teacher Drona. Tell me, how can I do this action? Prityotsami, how can I? Katham, a Arisudana, another again in two sentences, two adjectives words Arjuna using to address Lord Sri Krishna. Arisudana means Ari means again Rakshasas, okay? Adharmic people, wicked people. Oh, killer of the wicked people, a killer of the adharmic people. That means, now this who are all standing on the other side, they are in the adharmic side, adharma side. Anyhow, he is praising and addressing the Lord. Maybe he is thinking in the mind, see, you got the titles nicely, Madhusudana, Arisudana. But you asking me to kill my this relatives, grandfather and the teacher. And I have to get the title like what? Arjuna. The so and so Arjuna is the Bhishma Sudana or Drona Sudana. You want me get the titles like that? But you are got the titles of Madhusudana. But they are not the Rakshasas or Madhu and like other demons. My own grandfather, whom I love, who loves me also so much. You are not understanding this critical situation. So again, the same points he is bringing out, and you tell me, oh Krishna, Madhusudana, Arisudana, is it possible? Then he says in the fifth shloka, కొంచెం little more with pathetic tone, Guru hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaikshamapiha loke हत्वार्धकामांस्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान्. He is supporting his own view again by saying that इहलोके अपि भोक्तुं भैक्षम्. Even I am ready to live in this world by begging, by going for alms. Okay, that is actually, I think, better for us. He said this also before. So in this world, just living by begging and leading the life is much better indeed, instead of uh, ahatva, than killing this Mahanubhavan Gurun, the noble gurus. Different gurus are also there. Mahanubhavan means all great, great elderly people are there. Gurun. And moreover, Hatva Gurun too, by killing my own gurus here, Bhunjiya Iha, if I, after killing all of them, if I get the kingdom, and after that enjoying that kingdom and all that, that enjoyment, that food which I am going to eat later, after killing all my this great respectable pujarha varisodhana gurus and grandfather and all that, it is rudira pradigdhan eva. It is only blood shedded food. Blood shedded food. Every day, when I am eating, then I will see only these killings and all that. Then is it the life? Do you think that then afterwards I can be peaceful? So instead of that, better to go and beg and live. No need to do this war. So Rudhira Pradigdhan eva Bhunjiha iha. I will enjoy here only a blood-shaded food. That means the food means everything, whatever. What I am going to enjoy? Bhogan Ardha Kaman. The pleasures only, no? What for the kingdom? Pleasures. And so then Ardha and Kama. So to enjoy and the pleasures of the Ardha and Kama, the wealth and the sense objects, that all is just like this blood-shedded food only. Evil uh, action done, then afterwards enjoy. I tell you, my dear Krishna, Arisudana, Madhusudana, better go for begging is indeed very good for me. Then after that, he says further, Nachetavidmah kadaranno gariyah yadva jayema yedivano jayeyuho yaneva hatvana jijivishamaha तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः. Moreover, na vidmaha, we don't know. Kataran etat gariha naha, of these two actions, that is, to do the action, to do the war or not to do the war, or which one is gariha naha, which is better for us. See, he spoke about the two things, going for begging uh, and then gaining this pleasures with Ardha Kama and all kingdom, and enjoying this blood-shedded food. Okay, even he is including Krishna also. Naha, we, saying plural. Naha, naha vidmaha, na vidmaha, which is Kataran etad gariya naha. For us, we don't know which one is better. Not only that, yadva jayema yediva jayayuhu naha, whether we will conquer them or they will conquer us. Who knows? War has not yet started, no? Anybody can become victorious, anyone. There is no guarantee that only we will win. So he is bringing out that point also. Yadiva jayayuhu naha or yadva jayema. And then he says, ते एव धार्तराष्ट्राः यावन् हत्वा न जिजीविषामः अवस्थिताः प्रमुखे. And those Kauravas, who are all standing in front of us, the Dhartarashtraha, killing whom we will not desire even to live, who are all assembled in front of us, avastitaha pramukhe, yavan hatva, te eva dhartarashtraha. Okay? Then na jijivishamaha. Afterwards, everybody died. Only few are there. Then do you feel like to live, continue to live? Killing my own family members. That is a see, Swajanam, Swajanam. He argued so much. But this Arjuna not understanding, Krishna is that's a wondering. Hey, you are hitting your head, Swajanam, Swajanam, Swajanam. Why they are not getting that same idea? They must also feel, no, that too you are a good people, Pandavas. You never done any harm to them. But still they are standing there with weapons readily to kill you. But why you are only getting this kind of thing? See? And so he says all this and two, three, two, how many? Three verses he said. Bhagavan said two words. So Arjuna started speaking, but he's telling the same story. Then that means here see there is a we don't know what is good for us. So that means this is the I don't know what I am thinking, what I have to do. I am in confusion. This stage has to come. This haste has come. Where is the guarantee that what I am thinking is correct? How I how do I know that what I am seeing and what I am thinking, what I am imagining is correct? There may be something still better and great. I am searching for the hmm, solution of my sufferings only outside. I never thought of there is any other way possible. So this stage is the doubt. So this is called viparyaya, distraction so much, this and that, samsara darshanam done, and then um, surrendering, karpanya dosha. That word Arjuna is going to use in the next verse. I am helpless. Now, after now he's ready to ask the Krishna, then you please tell me what to do. I am under utter confusion. I don't know which is better for me. Yes, this has to come in one's life. Whether Shastra, Gurus are telling is correct or what I am thinking so far is correct. So give you a little pause and think. So this Bhagavad Gita studies is going to give us, we are all right now good only. We are happy, healthy, living with comforts and all that. But if you think that this is only enough, only let me listen to the Bhagavad Gita as academic qualification. Nowadays, it is a fashion of the day. If I am going to Bhagavad Gita also, I can tell to I am listening Bhagavad Gita from so and so, Swamiji, Swamini, or some master. It is like that, a fashion of the day. Or really, we discovered, realized that we are in the soup. Soup means samsara. Then I want to get it off from this. But I cannot get out of this by myself. Why? For any disease, also any problem, you have to go to the doctor and tell your symptoms and all that. Then doctor will give the medicine. Or it is so simple that face is yours. But can you see your face by yourself? You need the support of the mirror, isn't it? Same way, mind is mine, problem is mine, it is in me only. Why have to go to somebody? Why have to read the listen to the Bhagavad Gita and the Shastra? I can correct myself. Impossible. You cannot do. You cannot do. You need to surrender and take refuge at the Shastra and the Guru. That is what Arjuna is going to do in the seventh verse. We will see that in the next class. From there onwards, only total change takes place. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om. That's it.